Hi there, it's Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable treat box using the envelope punch board. It measures just over 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches in height, width, and depth. And this idea originally came from Jana Trautmann from Jana's Bastelwelt. She's a German demonstrator, and I just love some of her projects. The only problem is they're in German, so I'm showing you this project done in imperial measurements as well as in English. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a piece of cardstock that measures 5.25 inches by 5.25 inches. I'm going to bring out our envelope punch board. And a quick tip here, if, like with mine, it's getting there, I use this so often that my stylus is starting to, or my bone folder is starting to wear away. So you can actually use the stylus from your Simply Scored, and that will allow you to keep your envelope punch board much longer. I'm going to use that for this project. So we are going to line this up at the 1.5 inch mark. We're going to punch and score. And the smaller end of this stylus fits perfectly in the groove here on the envelope punch board. Then we're going to slide it down to the 3 3/4 mark and punch and score. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides. 1.5, punch, score, 3 3/4, punch and score. Okay, before we put the envelope punch board away, I am going to round the corner of just one of these points. And that's going to be the edge that we're going to fold into the box. Now we're going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. Okay, now what we're going to do is, paying attention to where we rounded that corner, we are going to cut using our paper snips from here to the next score line, and also on the other side, here to the next score line. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side, from here to the next score line, here to the next score line. Okay, that's all the cutting we're going to need to do with our paper snips, but we are going to take a minute to trim off these tabs here, and I'll show you. What's hiding in this box is a Ferrero Rocher, which is pretty cool. I'm going to take that out to use for our project. But we're going to make just these shorter flaps here by trimming them on the Stampin' Trimmer. So using the Stampin' Trimmer, and again, we're paying attention to where those flaps are going to be. I'm actually going to fold this under. So I'm folding the rounded edge under, and I'm folding one of these flaps flat so I can use that to push that up against the guide here. And I am actually lining up this score line here at the 2 inch mark. Really what you're wanting to do is just to cut off the curves pretty much here. And this will, if you line it up to the 2 inch mark, that'll ensure that you're cutting off just enough. So those are trash. Okay, so we just made these little flaps there. All right, so now we're going to assemble the box. Again, this is the top of our box. This is going to be the top lid. So what we're going to do first is start by adhering these 2 bottom sides to each other. What works the best here are a couple of glue dots. And this is really just to hold it in place. We will be using some multi-purpose glue that's going to really hold the box together, but I just kind of stick 1 glue dot in the lower corner there, and 1 glue dot in the lower corner there. I've got one on the outside and one on the inside because we're just going to fold the box together like this. Lift it here so you can see. So we're essentially bringing those flaps flush with that edge of the paper there. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere these 2 flaps, and the easiest way to do that is actually to close the top of your box. That will keep this box pretty square for you. And I'm just going to put 1 glue dot right here on the inside, in that corner right there. Hold that together. Okay, So the last step to adhere this box is we're going to put liquid glue all the way around the edge of this section. And that will really hold the rest of the box together. Just a thin bead of glue. Again, a little goes a long way. And you're going to go ahead and fold that up and over. Just hold it in place while that adhesive adheres. All right, so now what we're going to do is put our designer series paper around the box, and I have cut 5 pieces of this adorable Pick a Pattern designer series paper. I think this is my favorite pattern of all the designer series papers in the catalog right now. So just using some liquid glue, I'm going to put one on the top and then on all 4 sides. I'm going to do this front side last because, as you can see, we're trying to hide the overlap of all these different layers. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. Okay, and then the final piece, I'm not only going to put glue around the outside, but also all on the inside as well. So we want that to really stick down and cover up those layers. And then what I like to do is open up the box and from the inside press down. Okay, now all those designer series papers are adhered, and we're going to go ahead and use the teeny tiny 1/2-inch circle punch. We're going to use that to cut out a little notch on the front of this box where you can put your finger to easily open it. And I just go just about halfway into the circle and punch. And you'll see that that's got a nice finish on the inside there. Super cute. Let's go ahead and put our chocolate in. Again, this fits perfectly a Ferrero Rocher. We'll go ahead and close that box. And then we're going to do a little bit of stamping for the top of the box using basic black and a new set called Beautiful Bouquet. We're just going to use this Thanks a Bunch sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that on a scrap piece of Whisper White. And I always like with the photopolymer stamps to stamp on my Stampin' Pierce mat. There we go. Now we're going to punch that out with the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. And be careful because the black ink on the Whisper White takes a little bit longer to dry. And then with a scrap piece of Emerald Envy, we're going to go ahead and punch out a 1 3/8 circle punch. We're going to glue those together. Now we're just going to use a couple of dimensionals. And stick that right to the top of the box. Super cute. How sweet is that gift box? Again, it's just a little over 1 1/2 inches cubed and it fits perfectly a Ferrero Rocher or any other treat or gift you'd like to put in there. Thank you so much for watching my video tutorial today. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to purchase any of the supplies I used in today's video, they'll be linked in the description of this video. Or to shop my online store or see my weekday inspiration, please visit my blog, thepaperpixie.com. Thanks again for watching. You have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye!